I guess we made it. I just noticed the noise coming from the front of the truck, and oh, what the hell happened here? What do you think did that? Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Because these tires are touching, that's why that happened. I guess I got 3 vlogs coming at you today, so it has been deleted, unfortunately. But a while back, I did a 2,200 mile trip shakedown video in the 12-valve swapped 04 Dodge Ram 2500. So, what I am doing today is I am headed over to MGS Inc. Going to pick up 2 trailer axles for Alex for the new trailer. So we're going to pick them up and then headed down to Houston. So we are going down to Texas. I will run the GPS when we get to MGS. Should be about a 24-hour trip, but might be a little bit less, I don't know. That's basically it. So I'm gonna get the laptop set up and everything else, and I will show you what we're doing when we go grab these axles. All right, well here we are. Here is the axles. I have some 2-inch straps up there, as you guys can see. What a nightmare. Smashed the tailgate. Pretty good. We need a new one of them anyway. Yeah. There's the 2-inch strap. Probably go get a couple more. There you go. Alex's torsion flex axles. These sumbitches are heavy. Alright, so I'm trying to prove a point here. We're about to drive, you know, a lot of miles, okay? The duals touch. We're driving down, it's about a 24-hour drive. What I just found. It's a damn nail in the tire, a screw. So, I know if this side blows out, it's definitely not because there's no spacer. It's definitely gonna be this tire's fault, but it seems to be holding, so. Y'all can see just how much more time we have on the GPS. It's about 1,420 miles. So we're gonna be driving 1,400 miles. I think we're going down 81. So what's gonna end up happening, I'll have to stop there at my storage unit, grab some more straps. I'm gonna strap this thing down even better, even though it hasn't moved an inch since I took off. All right, so we went and grabbed a couple of straps. Yes, I still have this thing, but that's besides the point. Not sure what to do with this yet, but if we wanted to swap to an 8K axle, see, here's the difference. So here's an 7K axle, I meant, and here's an 8K, 2 8K torsion flex axles. See the beefiness? That's insane. I have the bags filled up to about 20 PSI, so we're about flush. And we still have a nail in that tire back there. It seems to be holding air, so whatever. If this side blows out, I know it'll be because of that nail. If the other side blows out, somebody was right. But the guy who said that these are gonna catch on fire because they're touching, you guys can see, no gap. Nothing's actually gonna happen to that. So we're into this trip about 3 hours now, and half of that time was with these great big massive axles. So yeah, when the guy put it in, he dropped it and it kind of bent the tailgate. So, you know, I see why you guys buy these trucks not to use them, because it's so easy to keep them nice when you don't use them. And then you see mine and it's like, you know, you got shit like this and, you know, shit like this. Like this is about to fall off. That's new, actually. I only had that about a year. Hit something there. So the bed was $100. Okay guys, so what would be a trip without problems? Now this one's funny. I knew this was gonna bite me in the ass. So I did a video a while back. I actually just did the U-joint on the front drive shaft. I don't think I put that in a video. Well, I had the passenger side U-joint replaced so long ago. I did it about like a year and something ago. Well, now I got to do the driver's side. So I showed you guys in a video that it had a little bit of slop, just a little bit, no big deal. So I noticed this vibration was getting worse, and I'm like, are my engine mounts shot? Is something wrong with the drive shaft, this and that? So like I've stopped now 3 times and I'm like, I can't put my finger on it. And I'm like, what the hell is it? So I decided to stop here. I checked the motor mounts again. I'm like, everything's solid. What could it be? So check this out. You guys can see that there is so much slop. So I'm like, this is the vibration I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go replace this after I'm done here. What would be a trip without a breakdown? You know, this one is actually my fault. I could have replaced this like 2 months ago. Don't be lazy. And it's not even like it's about, oh goodness, look at that. It's not even about like it's about the money, because it's literally $18 for the joint. So I don't know. All right, well, I'm gonna go through with you guys, and this is my jack setup. I'm gonna go through and pull this thing off and show you guys what's going on behind there. All right, here's what's going on here. So I took out both of the big bolts for the caliper and bracket and just set that aside. I forgot to hold the brakes and do this, so now I'm just using this to hold it to the ball joint and then use that, break them all free. It's actually working pretty well. I was able to get all of them. So one left. There we go. All right, well, we just shaved off about, you know, maybe 12 pounds worth of dirt by pulling that off. So now I just got to get the 4 bolts back behind, pull this out, and then the axle will slide out. All right, so after hours, we finally got it. All of them are on, unfortunately, with a hammer, because you guys see here, my vise broke. And they let me use the wall outlet over there, so I used the angle grinder to cut the old ones out, and the welder stopped working. So this is a disaster. All right, another day, we got that all figured out. It took till just about 10:30 last night to get the U-joint replaced. Not too bad. It did suck. My vise broke. I'll have to show you guys that all in a little bit. It's about 7 o'clock now. We're about to take off. We got ready, brushed our teeth. Yeah, so let's keep this road trip going. We got about 18 and a half hours. Let's see if we can't do that today. I'm telling you guys, these dualies are gonna blow out eventually. They've been touching the whole trip down here. It's been like 6.5 hours. The internet says they're gonna blow out, so that's what's gonna happen. Look at that. Can't even get a finger in there. Still got a screw in that tire over there, so we're just sending her. These things looking fine. They haven't, I don't know, have they moved? Doesn't look like they've moved. I got a bunch of straps on this, so. All right, so on this episode of The Internet Says, I think that should be a segment, honestly. So we are another 366 miles into this trip. We got about 933 left. And would you look at this? The dualies haven't blown out yet. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna happen. It will happen. The dualies are gonna blow up. They touch full time. I'm into this probably about, I don't know, 600-700 miles already, and I'm telling you, they're gonna blow. I got like 930 miles left. They're gonna blow. Just give it time. And we hit a bird. The bird is not having a good time. All right, so someone explain this to me down in the comments, please, and thank you. Oh, that's shot. Explain to me why, after I adjusted my idle, here we are 2 weeks later, and the idle's low again. Explain that one to me, because I know about the double nut. I need to use 2 10mm wrenches, so I gotta adjust it now. It keeps dying, so. And then I'm gonna eat. All right, so after burning myself, idle is perfect. Unfortunately, steering wheel has been always like kind of sat like this. So I'm gonna fix that here. That's gonna be a quick, easy fix. I just need a wrench. All right, so there's a special tool that I just bought for this. What you do is you take these two here and you can twist this and it'll make this spread apart, so this arm will go farther away. An alternative method, if you don't have that, straighten your wheels, take your steering wheel, and after you pull this off, your ball joint here, your tie rod end, whatever, once you pull that off, you can turn your wheel straight and then lengthen this by undoing this one. So lengthen it to where the new spot is, and then throw it back together. And there it is, all buttoned up. Took all but 5 minutes. All right, sorry if you can't hear me, but I found a fuel leak just ever so slightly where the sensor's at. I just tightened them up a little bit, so hopefully that solves it. idling good, so I'm gonna wire some zip tie. I'm gonna wire tie these harnesses. All right, well, we got the idle fixed. The fuel line leak, I believe I got it fixed. I tightened everything up. It seems like it was a little bit loose. Zip tied some wires up, made it so that like no matter what I do with the throttle pedal, none of the wires are touching them. So those are all zip tied up. Fuel line is zip tied up. Steering should be a little straighter. So we'll see how this feels on the road. Gonna have to make another adjustment at some point, but I don't know which way. And the bird is off of the grill. So I slammed the hood and the bird fell off. Gross. I'm probably gonna end up losing that grill, actually. I'll show you guys here. Like, I don't know how much longer this is actually gonna hold on. Oh yeah, it's not. I'm gonna have to take this off. It was literally being held on by one screw. There's this one right somewhere in this area. See, if it was facing right and I went a little overkill, so now it faces left a little bit. So like I'm gonna do 2 more rotations inward and hopefully this straightens itself out. But like probably next stop, when I stop for fuel, I'll probably do that. I did notice a little bit of an oil leak around the seal for the vacuum and power steering pump. So that's where my oil leak's coming from. It's a little low right now, but fuel pressure went up a little bit when I fixed the leaks. Right now it's sitting at 7 or 8, so that's kind of low, but when I start driving it stays at 10, which is a lot better than it was. The YouTube mechanics, the internet mechanics, the internet know-it-alls, you know, it's funny sometimes, it really is. Then there's the people that like don't know what they're talking about and they'll just throw their opinion out there because they heard it on the internet or something. So I'm into this trip now, I'd say a lot of miles, let's put it that way. And I'm also into this tire set about 1,500 miles. I am a little bit overloaded. Those axles, I believe, weigh like 800 pounds together is what they told me. And I've also got like a total of like, with that and all my tools and stuff, there's about 1,500 pounds of just weight over the rear axle. And it's been like 900 miles now. Like I said, after 1,500 miles, I'm definitely not worried about it. But yeah, we're gonna hit the road. This is about how much time we have left. Yeah, let's keep chugging along. All right guys, so we are making it just one last fill up. I'm like 20 minutes away from the destination. This is a lot of miles now with these touching. And there's a nail in that tire on the other side. So, I don't know. I guess we made it. All right, well, I guess I got to do this by myself, which isn't a big deal. So we got the first one up. Here's the other one. So this bracket needs to come off. They're assuming that we don't have a bracket up there, so they just send it with. And you can see that they take the wire harness and stick it right through. So unless you wanted to cut that with an angle grinder, it's just easier to cut these and solder them. So I got to do that on both sides and then shove this under there. This is just unnecessary. See, I pulled the bracket off and right there. Like, now we got to cut it. That's what I was told to do. That's ridiculous. Like, so they'd expect you to shove this up there and then weld this while the wire harness is in there. See, that doesn't make any sense. That's why it's a big Tex. Big turd. Brand new jack. Wouldn't even go high enough to lift the trailer to get the jack out. Sometimes you gotta improvise. All right, you guys can see wiring is done over here, nice and neat. Same with over there. So now I'm gonna cut off this catastrophe and install this bad boy. Currently in the process of putting this axle on. Jacked up one side and it jacked up the other for me. So we're getting there. We got one bolt in. Put a nut on the other side. Back here. And we'll lift that side up even further. So got the wheels torqued. All the wiring is done. Look at this nice wiring. Look at it. It's so nice. And then he's like, hey, we're gonna swap these out for grease like we did with the last ones. So there was no point in putting that tire on. That's torqued. Both fronts are torqued, so I'm kind of like, all right, so now we are going to swap these out for grease. I'm only gonna show you one because I think we already did a segment on. So this side's done. I'm gonna clean up. And this side is done. All right, I'm gonna pretty much finish the video out here. This is how this thing's gonna sit. Yeah, so little things, everything has been taken care of. You know, I still have a laundry list of things that I want to do to this thing before we end up getting a second vehicle for the channel. But I want to let you guys know, so trailer is done. Grease fittings have been exchanged out. Dualies still did not blow. Still can confirm you can't get your fingers between these duals. That's why my grill fell off, is because the dualies are touching. Makes sense, right? So, gonna unload this. We will be here for about 4 more days. We got this for his 2015 Ram. So we're gonna have one video on this. This video, obviously, we covered the trailer. He's taking that. And then the Ram 150. So there will be a video on that and that separate. So, all right, other than that, I'm gonna get this thing unpacked and yeah, video done.